Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 7 topics for this video. The first one, will the Americans conduct a preventive strike on Iran? You may say, are you crazy? No, because the title coming from the Associated Press article that I'm going to present here will definitely allow the Americans to claim preemptive strike on Iran. Iran supposedly is preparing an imminent missile attack on Israel. Israel invaded Lebanon. I made a video a minute ago with that. I covered that. I will show you what the Americans did regarding that invasion, which is they secretly approved to it. Netanyahu warns Iran. Iran stands down, but supposedly the Americans say, hey, these guys prepare an imminent missile attack on Israel. Then we find out that the Americans are sending a few more thousands of 1,000 troops, US troops in the Middle East. Now a few thousand, how much is that? 3,000, 15,000, I don't know. We're going to find out. Beijing, Moscow, and Minsk. It's going to be a new axis. In the meantime, they can take Tehran, they will take Venezuela, they will take Pyongyang, and so on, and many others. China's president expected to visit Belarus. So Lukashenko and Xi Jinping, blood brothers. Next one. Russia warns Estonia and Finland. Why? Because these baboons are activated to provoke the bear. We'll see where that ends. And I have a map regarding that escalation between Finland, Estonia, and Russia. 5 Americans arrested in Venezuela. CIA plot to overthrow Maduro's government. Why? Russia and Venezuela are expected to sign a strategic alliance for 10 years. So these guys are in a hurry to overthrow the government of Venezuela. We go to Ukraine. We find out that Vuhledar situation is garbage for the Ukrainians, and it's an imminent withdrawal from Vuhledar. I think it's too late. I will show you a map, updated map for today, October 1st, 2024. Vuhledar is lost, has been encircled. Now, Zelensky admits that frontline situation is very difficult. We're losing. So why don't you step in? And the last topic, former Dutch Prime Minister, Mr. Rutte, becomes officially the NATO Secretary. I have for my fellow Romanians a warning regarding Rutte given by Traian Basescu. Traian Basescu, a former two-term president of Romania. Traian Basescu said about Rutte, Romania. All right, let's start with the beginning here. This is why I think the United States would or could 100% conduct a preemptive strike with Israel against Iran. Iran preparing imminent missile attack on Israel. US warns, pledging severe consequences. Now, why do I say it's an preemptive strike? Do you remember, older people like me and others, remember when it was Saddam Hussein still alive, Remember what these guys in the White House, Rumsfeld said, and Cheney and Bush? They said an imminent attack. It's going to be in danger. How is that? Imminent danger. We are in imminent danger. What if someone is ready to shoot at you? What do? Wait until the bullet is coming towards you. These were the arguments provided to us that Saddam Hussein is ready to attack us. It's a grave and imminent danger. Remember? So go back in time. You still find those articles. You're going to find out these pieces of shit. Now they say this about Iran. The problem is United States is not in present danger, as I said, imminent and present danger. Israel is. And since Israel is in charge of, then we find out that you're going to have some of your children, maybe husbands, fathers, defending us, our freedoms. Garbage. Let's move on. Now we find out that Israel commandos raid Lebanon. Isn't that an invasion? Isn't that illegal for a country to send troops in another country? We've been told for almost 3 years that it's illegal, and that the Russians sending troops in Ukraine is an invasion, illegal invasion, unprovoked. In self-defense, I guess you can do whatever you want with someone else's mom, if she looks good. Now, the latest sign, Netanyahu is ignoring Biden's warning. The warnings are just for the baboons to believe in them. There's no such a warning. The warning are just for the baboons. In reality, they protect those guys to do what they do best to the other ones. They keep everybody at bay. Why? Let's look at the next article. Netanyahu warns Iran, there is nowhere we cannot strike. That means we're going to get you. And the other guys are supposed to do what? U.S. Secretary approved Lebanon escalation, according to Politico. Remember, all right, is ignoring Biden's warning. That's just yapping around, because the reality, U.S. Secretary approved Lebanon escalation, according to Politico, and we are serious about it. A few thousand more U.S. troops are headed to the Middle East. Again, Americans. And let me show you this. Pledging, U.S. pledges allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, right? Severe consequences. That means they're going to bomb Iran. But what if Iran defends itself from a preemptive strike? Will still American pledge severe consequences for Iran? You bet your ass they will. And this is the government that supposedly you voted for. And they put those bureaucrats in charge to keep you safe. Are we safer now? What if these guys say we are at war with Iran? Cancel the elections. 100% possible. 100% possible. Let's say maybe we have a imminent attack on the United States of America by Iran. Therefore, martial law could be implemented. 100% possible. All right, let's move to the next topic. Sputnik. China president expected to visit Belarus. Belarusian president says. Lukashenka. And I'm quoting Lukashenka. I would like to express special gratitude for the constructive approach to cooperation to my dear friend Chinese President Xi Jinping, and give him my good wishes that we are waiting for him to visit Belarus at a convenient time for him. Lukashenko said at a meeting with the ambassadors during the ceremony of presenting credentials escorted by the Belta news agency. So Belarusian president said the Chinese President Xi Jinping is expected to visit the Republic. Clear? Clear? All right. What are the implications? I don't think it comes to anybody's surprise. It's just a confirmation that the second club is already there and thriving. Why? Because there's many other people banging at the door to join and run away from this country that spreads freedom and democracy around the world. But they're sick of it. Why? Because they're the bad dudes. They don't like freedom and democracy. They're not good like you and I. They're bad. Therefore, they run away from truth and justice. All right, let's go here and see how the Russians are warning Finland and Estonia, two very small, weak countries. Without if you take the Americans out of all this equation, all these guys will speak normal to the Russians. What am I mean normal? They will not provoke, they will not insult, they will not puff and I'm gonna do this to you and all these kind of things. But they are activated. Russia warns Estonian-Finnish plans to blockade Gulf of Finland violate law of sea. And they will say, so you are the bad guy, so we can do whatever we want to you. This is the argument, all right? Even though Russia has nothing nothing between Estonia and Russia or Finland and Russia. They're not in a war. They're not nothing directly. It's just that Finland had to, pose and how do you call it, push sanctions on Russia because they are the yes sir of others. And Finland the same way. What did you expect in Finland? Where's the little that was no, the Finland, yeah, I think that was, but she's out now, the little tiny dancer on camera. I didn't mind, but as a whatever she was, prime minister, whatever she was, I don't make a confusion, do I? No. Nevertheless, let's go to the map and show you where this is located. So we have here the map of Europe. This is Russia in yellow, and then we have Finland, Helsinki, and you got Estonia. This is the Gulf of Finland, right here by St. Petersburg. As soon as we cooperate, more like 8. And there it is. This is the Gulf of Finland. This is St. Petersburg. So these guys want to blockade somehow St. Petersburg. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? Do you think the Russians... But these guys are provoking. They're not at war with Russia. They just been ordered to push on Russia. Well, they will get it. Next one. 5 Americans arrested in Venezuela in alleged CIA plot against Maduro. Miami Herald. Yes, alleged. I like when these guys, when the Western media is doing real reporting. That is, they used words, he said it, he claimed, or they claimed, or allegedly. Right? Well, I like when they say that. But sometimes they say, well, the Russians allege that this happened to them. But then when it's about the Ukrainians say that happened because the Russians say. Remember the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant and the dam that was, we know, blown up by the Russians. Why? Because Zelensky said so. It was not like allegedly. You go right now online and say Kakhovka dam, and you're going to find out it's a clear deal. Russians did it. Why? Did you hear what this guy said? I remember that an incident in front of a judge when it was a police officer who, issued the tickets to a poor guy, and then you have the judge, and the guy tried to defend himself, and the judge told the poor guy, didn't you hear what the officer said? Why in the fuck am I still here in front of you then? The guy said. I mean, if you tell me that this is what the officer, that's the whole point for me to show you my side of the story, and you tell me shut the hell up, didn't you hear what the officer said? You're guilty. So the same here. Didn't you hear what Zelensky said? The Russians did it. All right, so let's see what these guys did here in Venezuela with CIA plot. He's got that emerald over there. We love the emerald, don't we? Yeah. All right. 5 Americans have been arrested in a sweep launched by Venezuela's socialist regime to dismantle what the government claims is mercenary force assembled by the CIA and Spain's intelligence service to topple strongman Nicolas Maduro. Elected official. He's elected by 52% of the Venezuelans, according to Venezuela. You don't like that? Well, how many people elected Zelensky in May 2024? 0. Why? Because they canceled the elections. According to regime officials and regime-affiliated news outlets, more than 40 people have been arrested so far in connection to the alleged plot. Correct. Which also include a Czech and 2 Spanish citizens. And I'm quoting, a very important group of foreign hitmen and mercenaries have been captured and are in the hands of the Venezuelan justice system. And there is full evidence that the CIA and the Spanish CNI, Center for National Intelligence, are against peace in Venezuela. Venezuela. Remember that song of Harry Belafonte? Matilda, Matilda, she took my money around to Venezuela. Hey, once again, hey, top, top. I can't sing, obviously. All right, let's go to Ukrainska Pravda, right? New voice of Ukraine. Vuhledar withdrawal imminent as Russian forces gain ground, says Hetman. Too late, Hetman. They are in big doo-doo right there. Let me show you. So we're going to go to Vuhledar. This is Vuhledar. This is the city of Vuhledar. Where are you retreating? Do you mean southeast and east towards Russia? So these are in big doo-doo. Let me show you a different map so you can see where that is. It's in Donetsk People Republic or Donetsk Oblast. The Russians did not update their little map because they are slackers. Sputnik, and here is Vuhledar, as they call it. This is in the big scheme of things by Zaporozhia. Right, here is Vuhledar right there. This is the Sea of Azov. Let me just give like this. This is the Crimean Peninsula, so it is where my strong hand is. All right, let's move on. Parap, parap. And Tsarap Karap, Ukraine, Zelensky Stein. Frontline, very, very difficult. Must do what we can in autumn. Do you mean say we're done? That's what it is. And the last one is with this hater, who is the Dutch former Prime Minister Rutte. All right, former Dutch Prime Minister Rutte officially becomes new NATO Secretary General. Photos. 2 garbages. Now, let me tell you, my Romanian friends, you can watch a video with former President Traian Basescu, very smart guy and ballsy. I mean, he's ugly or he's this or he's that, but I have to give him he's smart, he's fast, or used to be, and he's ballsy. Straight there. Remember, yam churuid. But anyway, he said in one of his interviews, and you can find it somewhere where he talks about that imbecilic attempt, supposedly, by the current president of Romania, the Romanian Klaus Iohannis. Yes, that's 100% German name. Nevertheless, right? Why should we have Romanians? The Israelis have Palestinians as presidents and prime ministers, right? And Iranians too? No? All right. Only here. Over there, they're all A-OK. So, Iohannis said at one point, I'm going to run for the NATO secretary position, secretary of NATO. And Basescu in one of his interviews said, that's stupid, just to even claim. And he said Rutte was already anointed by the Americans to be. And he said, by the way, Rutte hates Romania. Rutte hates Romania, according to the former Romanian president Traian Basescu. And I think he does. Why? Statements, and not only. We're going to talk about that when I gather more information, so I can prove that to you, that Mr. Stoltenberg looks down on Romania. Is it because he's Dutch? Or because he's on someone else's payroll? Or why? I don't know. Personal imbecility? We'll find out at a later date, when I'm going to have clear examples to show you that he is a batch. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.